Okay, so we're going to create this design and put it onto Sketchpad. So the first thing you do when you start with a design and you want to create it on Sketchpad is to kind of figure out what you see in your design. So what I see to start with, and I'm going to use a highlighter to kind of highlight things, is I see a hexagon. So I need to construct a hexagon around the outside, and then also, as I'm working here, I also see some diagonals that go through here. So I see a diagonal. I see 3 diagonals that are going through that are making triangles. Okay, also before I start, I noticed that this triangle is rotated to here and around. So that's going to make life easier for me rather than constructing each piece. So I'm going to actually start by constructing the hexagon, and then just working inside one of these triangles. And I'll come back to the design as we're working. Okay, so I go into Sketchpad. Now, this is a free version of Sketchpad, so it's a little bit different than what you'll see, but the basic gist of it's there. So I'm going to start by constructing a hexagon. So I'm going to draw a segment, and then I'm going to select all of this, and I'm going to double click this point right here, and I'm going to transform. Now we know that a hexagon, from our work we've done, is 120 degrees, a regular hexagon. Okay, so I'm going to take it, I'm going to double click on this point right here, and then I'm going to hit transform and rotate, and you'll notice how it's now making the third side. Okay, and then I'm going to double click this point right here, and then I'm going to hit transform, rotate, good, and I'm going to keep going until I get my entire shape. Now this is better than just eyeballing it and drawing segments, because I need to make sure that all the sides are exactly the same. And if you test out your shape, if it works correctly, you should be able to change the size of it, and everything should still say a regular hexagon. Okay, the next step, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my diagonals. So I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to go across, and I'm going to go across here. Now I'm looking for that point of intersection, so I'm going to put a point right where all of those intersect. Okay, so now I need to find some midpoints. So when I drew these segments in here, the segment went from here to here. So if I'm going to try to find the midpoint of a lot of these segments, I'm going to have to draw segments in. So I'm going to draw these segments. Okay, and now I'm going to take this. Now you can go construct a midpoint, but you'll notice when you hit the construct menu, you can also hit Control M or the Command M on a Mac. All right, so I'm going to, now what I need to do is I need to continue to make a lot of midpoints along this side here. So I'm going to go from here to here. I can hit construct a segment, or I can hit Control L. So if I hit Control L and then I hit Control M, that'll give me a midpoint. Okay, so I'm selecting these 2 points, I'm selecting Control L, and then I'm hitting Control M. Okay, so I'm going to get a series of points like this, Control L, Control M, and get a bunch of midpoints. Control L, I need this point and this point, I'm hitting Control L, Control M. And from here to here, Control L, Control M. And the last 2 points are Control L, Control M. All right, now that was a pain, so I don't want to do it again. So I'm just going to select these points right here. I'm going to hit transform, and this time I'm going to rotate it. Now, I'm going to rotate about this point right here, but I'm going to rotate it 60 degrees. And notice how those all showed up down there. Okay, I'm going to keep going. Transform, rotate 60 degrees. Transform, rotate 60 degrees. Transform, rotate 60 degrees, and the last one is there. Okay, now the only other thing I want to do is I want to, now I would like to rotate onto this segment right here. So if I take that, I'm going to hit transform, rotate 60 degrees. About this point. So now I can just hide that segment. Oops. Okay, so I can select all of these right here, and I can hit transform, rotate 60 degrees, but I want to do it about this point right here. Actually, I want to go 120. Get down to there. Okay, and then I'm going to go about this point right here. Transform, rotate 120. Transform, rotate about this point right here. So I'll get 120. And now I am getting all of these points without having to construct them all. Okay, so now I have all the points. I need one more. There. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my original drawing, which is this one right here. And so I have, I need to draw segments in here. So I'm just going to do what's in white right here. So I'm going to draw these segments in. So in order to do that, I'm going to start at the first point here and go to the first one up to here. Second one to second one. Third one to third one. Fourth one to fourth one. Fifth one to fifth one. Sixth to sixth. And seventh to seventh. Okay? I'm going to do the same thing over here. We could change the color of those if we want. Okay? I'm going to go first to first, second to second, third to third, fourth to fourth, fifth to fifth, sixth to sixth, and seventh to seventh. Okay, so now you can change the color to be whatever you want it to be. So I can go display color and I'm going to pick red. Okay. And now I can just take all of these segments that I just had right here. Okay, and I can just do the same thing I did before. Transform, rotate. Okay, now I want to go about this point right here. And instead of 120, I want to go 60. Okay, notice we didn't actually need to do all those points before. If you select them now, they could have rotated then. So you can transform, rotate. Okay, you're going to go about this point right here. Transform, rotate. Okay, transform, rotate. You can see it's just filling in. Transform, rotate, transform, rotate. Okay, and you can change the design to make it work, but let's see how we did. Pretty close. I just haven't paid attention to the color scheme yet, but you can just select your segments and change the colors. So I can just hit display and change the color to or whatever you want. So, and you just would alternate them. Okay, good luck on your next design.